You're watching Rich History, Priceless Future, the Tarpon of Boca Grande Pass. While this tournament is steeped in tarpon fishing tradition, the event's mission makes it about much more than simply how many fish are caught or who landed the largest tarpon and won the biggest prize.
This is a live bait tournament. This style of fishing takes advantage of the natural feeding habits of the tarpon. Traditionally, if you think about fly fishing and matching the hatch, during an outgoing tide when you have the shrimp and crabs and bait fish that are coming off of the flats and through the pass, the guides and the anglers that are out here, they're matching the hatch. And with the tournament being an all-release tournament and the methods that are fished out here with this particular tournament, the time from the hookup to the release is very narrow. In some of the tournaments in the past, we've had hookups as little as a minute, but the average is about 7 minutes.
These practices are intended to maximize the post-release survivability and welfare of sport-caught fish.
What a lot of people don't realize, when an animal is stressed or spooked, there's a thing, generic term, capture apnea. It's basically a buildup of lactic acid. Do you ever work out really hard and your muscles get sore? Well, now picture your whole body being like that. That's from a buildup of lactic acid in the muscle.
Tarpon's a beautiful fish, definitely one of the all-time greatest game fish with their jumping and everything they do. I've done some tournament fishing in the Bahamas and Cape May Mid-Atlantic 500, where I got to play last year there for the tournament, and it's actually where I met Dave Chafin and met Guy Harvey, and it's amazing, up there doing a tournament, playing some music, got to meet these guys, and here we are today.
Well, I hope it just opens some awareness, opens some eyes that basically you don't need to kill every species. I mean, catch and release is a good way to go. Like I said, it basically when you tie in the science, the conservation, you still have the sportsmanship, you still have the competition out there. Guys are still hooting and hollering every time they land a fish. Yesterday, you saw everyone's clapping and yelling and screaming. As soon as they touch that leader, they know it's a catch. They're excited. They're going after it. So there's still the competition is still there, and the animals swimming away freely. I think that is the key thing here, is that if we can make it a catch and release type of scenario with majority of our species, I think the world will be a better place. I think that's kind of what we're looking for. That's our goal that we are trying to get out with the foundation. Basically, keep stuff for tomorrow. Keep it for the kids, because these resources aren't going to be here forever if we don't take care of them.
I really think that catch and release has caught on with the recreational fishing community, and I don't see, incredibly big obstacles still out there to the spreading of this practice to many different kinds of species. It's just a matter of time.
But we've got to stay focused on ensuring that we are going to gain the knowledge that is necessary to wisely and sustainably utilize this resource so that it's here for generations to come, not only to support the economy of the region, but also for the aesthetic and cultural values of having our children and our grandchildren enjoy these resources.
The more educated we are and the more research we have that's open to everybody and available through the media and the better off we'll be.
You can't educate without knowledge. So the research work comes first. You've got to generate knowledge about your subject matter, as I said earlier.
If you help make an environment a better place, then, in my humble opinion, you're a hero.
Therein lies the hope that through research, education, and community involvement, we can ensure a healthy fishery in Charlotte Harbor and Boca Grande Pass, for not only present, but for future generations to come.
Enjoy what God has given us on this earth, and that's the ocean and everything in it.
I wouldn't be doing my part, one, as a citizen of Boca Grande and a person that's ecologically conscious, of changes in my environment, if I didn't do everything that I can to try to save these fish. With Boca Grande having a 100-year history, you know, of the best tarpon fishing in the world. A lot of people say, well, we'll have them for another 100 years. I don't want to see 100 years. I want to see 1,000 years. I want generation after generation to be able to come here to this island, see these fish in their native environment just as healthy and thriving as they were, you know, from day one.
Everybody is excited about getting involved in this because of the mission.
Which is what you want. You want people to care about the oceans, care about what's around them in their environment, and do something about it.
I think that the model they're using now is going to show people around the world that yes, you can go out, you can catch these fish, but you can do it in a way that's ecologically sound.
And we'll keep evolving those rules to make sure that conservation is at the top of the list so that we can preserve the fishery for generations to come.
I have 2 children, a son and a daughter, and they love the ocean.
Recently, after having a small child again, one of the things that I would never want to have happen is him and I walked down the beach and him asked me, I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it. You know, Daddy, I heard we had tarpon here. How come we don't anymore? So, you know, I really think it's all of our responsibility to make sure that we do leave that, you know, for the future generations. I'm sorry.
There's a line in the song, you know, it's hard to believe there's life in the ocean where most eyes will never see, you know, and we got to thinking about that. And it's just important to me that we keep it alive and do the right moves, and so we can save it for the kids.
It's in our hands, we need to keep it as it is, if not better than we found it. Water, everywhere, but we know we gotta move fast or it might disappear. The ocean lives.